Welcome again to the webinar for United Nations Japan Long-Term Fellowship Program on Postgraduate Study on Nano-Satellite Technology. Great, so PNST is a fellowship program between the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs and Kyushu Institute of Technology, Kyutech, which started from 2013. And it is for nationals of developing countries or non-spacefaring nations. And this program is supported by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, MEXT, of Japan. This program provides opportunities for 3 students in the master's program, which is 2 years of duration, and 3 students in the doctoral program, which is 3 years of duration, to enroll in Kyutech's Space Engineering International course, which George will mention later. So there are many programs in the world, but why would you choose PNST? There are a bunch of reasons, but I've organized them into 2 bullet points. One is that you will have the opportunity to study in a leading university in the field of small satellites. Through PNST, you will receive a hands-on, extensive research opportunity in nanosatellite systems through the use of nanosatellite development and testing facilities available at Kyutech, and they have amazing facilities. And also, Kyutech is amazing in a way that in 2018, 19, and 20, they were reported by Rice Space and Technology to have had launched the highest number of small satellites among all academic operators, which is an amazing number. And also, the students from the course hail from all over the globe. I think you will hear it from all of our speakers later, but you can see that there is a very diverse member of students in the course. Second, there is an amazing generous support from Japan. So the selected candidates will receive a grant under the MEX scholarship of approximately 144,000 Japanese yen per month through the duration of their fellowship program. And it covers housing, food, local transportation, and other expenses. And also, not only that, you will be provided an economy class air ticket between the international airport in your country and also between Narita International Airport, which is near Tokyo, or Fukuoka International Airport, which is close to Kyutech. And besides that, fees for matriculation, tuition, and entrance exams will be paid by Kyutech. The requirements for participation are listed in the documents on our website, but to make sure that you understand them, the people who are applying must be nationals of developing countries or non-spacefaring nations. They must be duly nominated by their institutions. This might sound of a bit of a weird rule to you, but they must be born or after the 2nd of April, 1986. This is according to MEXT rules. It changes every year. And also they should have the academic and professional background required by the specific fellowship program. So candidates seeking a master's degree need a bachelor's degree in engineering-related subjects. Candidates seeking a doctorate degree are expected to have completed studies in a master's degree or equivalent in engineering-related subjects. And as you can see, degrees in different technological fields can be considered by the Doctor Commission. And also, we really want to make this point bold, but we really want people to be able to make professional use of the experience gained in the fellowship program. So as you can see, UNUSA and Kyutech expect the fellows to return to their home countries upon completion of their studies and contribute to their countries. As I explained earlier, it is our aim to help support the developing countries and non-spacefaring nations. So as people who win this opportunity, you really must go back to your countries and really contribute to them. Also, I must emphasize that our office is committed to achieving 50-50 gender balance in our programs. So we really hope that women apply. Here you can see the schedule. It is very tight for this year. The applications opened last week. The applications will be closed in January 24th, which you have at least roughly 1 month. After that, the first round selections will be done in February. In March, the final selections. And when you are selected until June, you will have time to finalize the research and study plan with the professors at Kyutech. In July, you will need to take an official entrance exam to Kyutech. And if you pass, you will be able to start the program in October. All the details, all the information you need are on our website. I must admit this website is a bit hard to find in our website. So if you just type in PNST UNUSA, you will be able to go directly to our website. Please make sure to read all the documents there. There is a very nice Q&A corner in this page where there are a lot of questions that we received. So please make sure to read the whole website before you ask questions. And at the end, if you do, please make sure to send them to our our email address here at unusa@un.org. So this concludes my brief introduction. Next, I'd like to introduce George Maeda from Kyutech to explain you a bit more in detail. So George, I give the floor to you.
Okay, can you take down your slide?
Yep.
Okay, and I'll put up mine. Can you see it?
Yep, it looks great.
Okay, so my name is George Maeda. I'm with the Kyushu Institute of Technology in Kita, Kyushu, Japan. I'm going to elaborate a bit more on PNST and SEIC. So I imagine most of the audience has never been to Japan. If you have a chance, it's a great learning and cultural experience. It'll change your life, and I think our 4 speakers later on will confirm that for me. This presentation has a lot of URL links, so please download it from the USA website later on. So
I believe you were saying I'm showing everyone the slides that they were not able to see. So the PDF of this presentation is available at the UNUSA website. Regarding that, we will make sure to put up the presentations and the recordings of the webinar during this week so that you can see it. So for that, I will try to do my job as early as possible. So George, maybe you can start with slide number 5, which says you are getting into this, and it explains Space Engineering International course.
Okay, so next slide, please. So the essence of this is it's a postgraduate engineering program at Kyutech. Next slide, please. There are 4 topics that I want to go through: highlights, components, career development, and space projects. Next. So here are the highlights: lectures based in English, rigorous space engineering curriculum, multicultural environment, Japanese lessons are provided, and you can discover some great food in Japan. Next, please. So here are the major components of SEIC. Research under supervision of a faculty member, on-the-job training through hands-on experience, PBL, project-based learning, and various lectures related to space engineering. Next, please. So note, we're going to teach space engineering, but more fundamentally, we are teaching systems engineering. So when you graduate, you'll be able to find work in a wide variety of industrial sectors, not just in space. So don't think that you're going to be restricted to a very narrow set of skill sets. Next, please. Career development opportunities. So we tried to bring in a lot of external speakers so that you know what's going on in the outside world, not just what's going on inside of Kyutech. So we have, over the years, brought in many high-profile speakers, such as Dr. Werner Bollag or Dr. Daniel Wood. So we want to give you a multifaceted experience. So the goal is not just to acquire engineering skills, but how to understand how the contemporary space industry operates in terms of politics, business, space law, etc. Next, please. Hazuki-san, okay. And space projects. We always have space projects underway. Some of them are listed on the right side of this panel. Some of these have completed, and some of them are ongoing. But as you can see, we have a lot of space projects here at Kyutech. Next, please. So these are the 18 satellites we have launched so far. As Hazuki-san mentioned earlier, this makes us the #1 academic operator in the world. Next, please. Next, please. Hazuki-san? Okay. Hold on, I think you skipped one.
Yeah, sorry, George, it takes a bit of time, so if you can just keep talking, that would be great.
Okay. So this is the Bryce report that Hazuki-san alluded to for the year 2018, 2019, and 2020. Bryce Technology reported that we have launched more small satellites than any other university in the world. So this bar chart is, and you can download this and look at page 28 to see for yourself. So we have nothing to do with this company. This is entirely third party, and this is what they claim. So we're quite proud of this. Next, please. Where is Kyutech located? Next, please. It's at the southern end of Japan, and there's a great photo of Kyushu taken by BIRDS 3 satellite. You can see it right there in the yellow frame. Next, please. Where do our students come from? Next, please. Well, they come from all over the world. These are students currently enrolled in SCIC. Next, please. As much as possible, we try to get you into satellite projects for the following reason. All problems are local. And so your country should learn how to build CubeSats to improve the quality of life. Next, please. So I'm going to wrap up now. In conclusion, be sure to catch the UN-USA interview with Ms. Pooja Lepcha. She's currently a PNST fellow pursuing her PhD. It's a really good interview. The second item is this. It's a document called Introduction to SCIC. It's 38 pages. So you can see the link right there. And finally, I recommend a visit to our Kyutech SCIC YouTube channel. It contains fun videos created by our students, both about work and about play. So with that, I thank you for your attention. Thank you, Hazuki-san, for putting up your PDF.
Thank you, no problem, George. And thank you for this amazing presentation about Kyutech and SCIC. Now we are ready to get more information from the actual people that are participating in the program. So first, I'd like to introduce you to our next speaker, who is Ms. Pooja Lepcha, who is a current fellow in the PNST program. So Pooja, you have the floor.
Thank you. Let me share my screen.
While sharing, everybody, if you have any questions, please make sure to put it in the chat. We will make sure to answer them at the end.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Pooja Lepcha, and I am a PhD student in Kyushu Institute of Technology. And the topic of my presentation is discovering a whole new world. So this is the outline of my presentation. So I come from a very small country, Bhutan, which is located in South Asia, and it is landlocked between India and China, and we are just about 700,000 people in Bhutan. So if we look into Bhutan's development timeline, in 1961, the first 5-year plan was drafted, and that is when the socio-economic development took place. And only in 1999, TV and internet was introduced. And in 2003, we had our cellular mobile services. And then we go to October 2016, when Bhutan planned to launch its first satellite. So in August 2018, Bhutan successfully deployed the first satellite in orbit. So even though Bhutan took time to adapt technologies, but Bhutan caught up pretty well. And yes, we already have our first satellite in space. So it came down recently. Before PNST, I spent most of my life in Bhutan, starting from elementary school to getting my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. And just before getting the fellowship, I was working at a construction division, preparing tender documents and troubleshooting tip-offs, and also designing electrical drawings. And then came my life after PNST. So it completely changed. I came as a master student after receiving PNST fellowship in 2017. And I met my lab members, and we are a lot of members from different countries. It's a multinational, member. And at one point of time, this is our student room, and we had about 15 students from 15 different countries. So during our free time, we talked about space, culture. So it was like having a mini UN meeting. So each of these students specialize in different fields, and there is a lot of knowledge sharing that we have. And we just don't share knowledge, but also culture and also cuisines. So we relate to each other in a lot, many ways. And there is always so many lessons to learn from each of our lab members. Being in Kyutech gave me access to most of the lab equipment. There are so many, we have like everything in the lab to emulate space environment. So a few of them are here, like the anechoic chamber is used for communication testing. The solar simulator, after we have assembled the solar cells ourselves, we test the characteristics here. It is a very interesting experience. And to emulate by launch environment, we have this vibration testing machine. And then for space environment, we have this thermal vacuum chamber. So being a student at Kyutech gave me a lot of opportunity to actually use all of this equipment and also learn many things. One of my best experience of being in Kyutech comes from being part of satellite project. So I have lived through an entire cycle of satellite design and development through a project called Birds 3 project. So we kicked off in 4th October 2017, and then we defined our missions in December 2017. We had our breadboard models ready by 24th April, and CDR in September 2018. So CDR is the time when we have our engineering model ready, and we have proven all of our missions. We had our flight model ready to be delivered to JAXA. It was delivered in February 2019, and it was launched in April last year, and it has been operation for more than 18 months. So I could experience this entire cycle of this project. And I have been involved in other satellite projects also, like Birds 2 satellite project, where we launched the first satellite of Bhutan. Birds 3, in this we launched the first satellites of Nepal and Sri Lanka, and currently we have this 6U satellite Kitsune, which will be launched next year. As Maida Sensei said earlier in his presentation, we are also able to talk with various people from the space sector. It is a very interesting experience of meeting them. Like we would just imagine reading about them in papers or in news, but actually meeting them is a whole new, different level of experience. And also meeting them is really inspiring. So we had the chance to even talk to two of astronauts who have led expeditions in space, and also other professors. So it is a very exciting thing at Kyutech. And from this, my research is on design and development of ground sensor terminals for remote data collection using satellites. And I'm currently working with about 11 countries to develop this sensor station. So it will this sensor station will send data to the satellite that we're developing now, Kitsune. And back home, I now work in Division of Telecom and Space, which was established after Bhutan plan to launch the first satellite, and it is under Ministry of Information and Communication in Bhutan. So this division that we have is spearheading all space-related activities and outreach programs. We also have few outreach program that we do on social media, like Facebook. So you can find it here in this link. So we invite speakers to talk about space with the common people in Bhutan. And apart from all the study and being involved in satellite project, we also have some fun. So it's not always work. So we have been doing some cycling trips over the weekend, and we have some kind of tradition to celebrate cherry blossom in a nearby park. It's very near to our university. It's called Hanami, and we also go for skiing in Hiroshima, and it's a very beautiful place to view autumn leaves. And yeah, for listening. That's all for my presentation.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for your inspiring story and explaining about your activities at Kyutech, but also the activities that are being done in Bhutan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Keenan Chattar, who is from Trinidad, and he is also a current fellow at the PNST program. And you have the floor now.
Okay, thank you very much. Hold on one sec. Can you see my slides?
That looks great.
Okay. Okay, good day everyone. My name is Keenan Chattar, and I'm a PNST scholarship student from Trinidad and Tobago. And for this webinar, I'll be presenting on satellites and how they can improve lives. So for a brief introduction into my academic background, I studied electrical and computer engineering for my BSc at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad. And I went on to pursue a master's in computer engineering, where I specialized in integrated systems. I was an international intern at the NASA Ames Research Center in 2018, where I worked on many interesting projects. And I'm now here at Kyushu Institute of Technology as a PNST scholar, studying for my second MSc degree in space engineering, where I work on satellite engineering and development. I'm currently working on the development of the BIRDS 5 nano-satellite, which is part of the BIRDS project here at Kyutech. And I guess my future goals after I complete my MSc would be to continue and hopefully pursue a PhD in space engineering, where I can continue to apply new research skills and continue developing satellites. So now that I've introduced myself, let's learn about how satellites can improve lives. And firstly, we can ask ourselves the question, what are some applications of satellites and how can developing countries use them? So the applications of satellites are limitless, and there are very many ways we can use them. One of the most common uses is land surveying, such as multispectral or environmental analysis as one of the primary uses. An example of this is the main mission of the BIRDS 5 satellite, which is multispectral image capture of the member countries Zimbabwe and Uganda for land surveying and agricultural purposes. Another application is communications, which is used for satellites, which is necessary in everything in this technological age, so such as internet for GPS location services and television. Additionally, we also use satellites for weather forecasting and also for experimental testing purposes, such as on-orbit demonstrations and product testings. An example of this would be the Horyu and Dyspratium satellites that were developed here at Kyutech, which were designed to demonstrate high voltage generation technology and also test commercial off-the-shelf products. So these satellites are being built by Kyutech students and engineers from foreign countries all over the world. So this then gives them the necessary skills to return to their homeland and spur the development of their space industry. And that's what I'm hoping I can do here at Kyutech. So another question would be, what are skills and education traits necessary to build satellites? So from my understanding, I've realized that satellite development primarily involves like a combination of many different engineering backgrounds. So it is possible to have like a science-based degree, but you'd be more prepared if you had an electrical, mechanical, computer, or aerospace engineering background. So space engineering generally requires you to know multiple engineering fields. So say even if you're a mechanical engineer, you're still expected to know how to code in languages such as Python and C, and also know how to work with software libraries such as MATLAB and Fusion and AutoCAD and so on. So you can focus on one of these major fields as like an engineering background, but you must have like a surface level understanding of many of them. So like having a taste for knowledge and understanding everything is very important. So in my case, I studied electrical and computer engineering. However, I also required to have like an understanding of all engineering aspects such as satellite mechanics, satellite structure, electrical power systems, and many different subdisciplines. And in addition to having an engineering background, you also need to have a passion for space. So people don't exactly choose learning the space industry for money. Like you choose it because you have a passion for the industry. You choose it because there are many areas of interest to be uncovered, and this curiosity drives you forward. So another question would be, what are some interesting courses that the SEIC program provides? So some interesting courses that I've done so far, you learn many new things. And one of them called Orbital Dynamics, I learned about how to predict the paths of satellites and planets and so on. One of the assignments involved simulating the path of a satellite and then going out to a mountain location to actually capture an image of the satellite as it passed overhead, which was very unique, very amazing. Another example is from one of the courses is high-speed gas dynamics. Like I learned about shuttle re-entry and how the shuttle experiences comms blackout due to the heat shield like burning so hot that it creates a plasma field that blocks radiation, that blocks the radio waves. Like these are all very interesting things that I would never have learned before, but because this opportunity provided to me via PNST. Another example is in satellite engineering course, like it teaches you about rockets and propellants and thrusters and the all-important rocket equation, which my sensei described to me as if there's only one thing you learn from the satellite engineering course, it should be this equation, the equation that describes the motion of a satellite relative to its mass and velocity. And there's nothing cooler than learning about rockets and satellites. So finally, what would be some advice you would give to persons that are interested in satellite development but don't know where to start? I would say, for my advice, I wish that someone told me earlier that building satellites for your country is not as out of reach as you initially think it would be. So when I thought of space, I would only think of NASA, SpaceX, and giant rockets that a developing country would never be able to build. Like, so space was totally out of reach for my country. However, satellites are small scale and large scale. There are many different types. So you can achieve many goals with satellites, and it's possible for young engineers young and aspiring engineers and scientists to use these satellites as an outlet to enter the space industry. Another piece of advice would be to reach for every opportunity. because you shouldn't shy away from opportunity because you think you might not be capable enough for it. You never know unless you try for it. Also, one piece of advice my sensei gave me was that making friends and contacts is probably equally as important as studying. Like, these friends will become your work colleagues in the future in the space industry, and knowing many people is very important because they will provide many opportunities in the future. So studying is important, but also making friends and is very important as well. And to close, I would be lying to say that the engineering courses is easy. It's not. You will likely face many stresses and hardships, but these hardships make you stronger. Like, the stresses make you grow and push you forward to become better than you were before. So it's very important that, yes, there will be stresses and as learning about space engineering, but it's important. It's necessary for you to grow as a person. And with that, I think we've come to the end of my presentation. I'd like to thank you very much for listening, and I hope this short presentation can inspire many young individuals. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Keenan, for answering a lot of questions that people might already have, and also for the amazing advice. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Mr. Mohammed Yahya Edrias. He's from Egypt, and he has graduated from PNST and is working back in Egypt. So Mohammed, if you can share the screen, and you have the floor now.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Do you think you can make it to full screen mode, maybe?
Or
presentation mode?
Okay, shall I start?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, hello everyone, all people here in this evening. This is my honor and pleasure to be one of you among the presenters today. My name is Mohammed Yahya Idris. I'm from Egypt. Now I am working with the National Authority for Remote Sensing and at the same time Egyptian Space Agency. I have graduated from Kyushu Institute of Technology. Tonight I will tell you about my success story, about the goals, achievements of studying my PhD under PNST fellowship. Okay, for today we will walk through this content, a short bio about myself and what are the motivations to join PNST program, and maybe will share the knowledge and inspire some others to join the same program. I will briefly discuss about the PNST program and what added to me, and how could I transfer the gained knowledge to my country. This is the most important thing, and this is the most ultimate goal I had when I went to Japan in 2013 to get my PhD. And what are the lessons learned from studying in Japan? And somehow I will tell you about my life in Japan. My name is Mohammed Yahya. I got my electrical engineering, a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering from Faculty of Engineering in Cairo University. I'm from Egypt, of course, the land of pharaohs. I got my master's degree as well from the Faculty of Engineering in Cairo University, and I got my PhD in Integrated Systems Engineering from Kyutech. I joined the Egyptian space program since it came out in 202. This is almost 18 years from now. Now I am promoted to a researcher at the Department for Space Engineering. I'm working as a system engineer, a group leader, and project manager in many projects, satellite projects in Egyptian Space Agency, EGSA, and as well I give lectures about.
Yes, I believe we have some connection problems. I'm very sorry for this. Maybe I will ask our next speaker, Erka Dashtong, to fill in and do his presentation first, and after that we will reconnect with Mohammed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Erica, for chipping in. So Erica is from Mongolia, and he is also a graduated fellow. So Erica, you have the floor now.
Thank you. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah, looks amazing.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Bata Dashtamdog. I'm from Mongolia now. Currently, I work at the National University of Mongolia. And today, I'm going to talk about my experience personally I obtained from the Japan during the PNST study. So first of all, I would like to share this painting. When I was in elementary school, I was asked my teacher to draw my future job, and this is what I draw. And also, it was the beginning of the journey. And there is an Asian proverb said, "Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Yeah, my supervisor, Japanese supervisor, once told me this proverb, and it's really true. You should start from now. And actually, from my childhood, I had the dream to become inventor or some engineer, like as I draw. And during my high school life and university life, I was every time think about this goal of my life to become a kind of inventor or electronics engineer. And actually, it drive me to this way. And until I get job, and also I got the scholarship to study in Japan.
Erica,
And
we still
you know the develop. Sorry.
We still see the title slide. Do you think you can?
Oh, really?
Next
Actually,
page?
it's changed for me, and
okay.
So now, how about now?
If anyone.
Yes, it changes for me as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's just me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
can continue.
Continue.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm 27 years old when I was, and I got the scholarship from PNST, and I went to the Japan and started to learn new things and new challenges, and I faced many cultural and then also this knowledge challenge. Everything were very new for me, and also until this actually this time I achieved my goal that time. And it means from the childhood I was planning to become inventor or to learn in abroad or something like that. That was achieved, but after that I lost the meaning, and also I was near to give up all these challenges in the developing country and the new topics related to the space engineering and other things. At that time, I was looking for the new infinite goal to me, because goal of the life or other word like a purpose of life give the meaning to the person's life. And I was looking for this goal. And after that, in 2015, actually I went to Japan in 2014, and 2015, I put this photo to my Instagram. Actually, it was my time to set up new goal for me and for my life. And it's this photo is like a Japanese satellite, Horyu 4, and background is kind of the sakura type of flower, and Japanese guy was raising on his hand this satellite. And I was thinking, and one day I want to raise a Mongolian satellite in my hand. that was kind of the beginning of new way of my life. And also I understood that the type of the goal and set up new goal. That is to make Mongolia the solar system's leading country in space technology by 2206. So it's kind of the long and purpose. And after that, so I would like to share another image here. Can you see these two images? And the first one is the painted image when I was in elementary school, and the second one is when I was working on the Haryu 4 satellite project. And then you can see here this similarity of these two images. For example, one guy in the laboratory with this white gloves, and the time maybe I didn't know about the mask. And now everybody knows, right? And also this square thing with the antennas and the like eyes and mouths is very similar with this one. And also this laptops computer in the laboratory. It was very surprising for me, and actually my future job become realistic because of the PNST scholarship. That I was very appreciative for this. And after this, maybe 2 years later, and actually we launched Mongolian first satellite, and as I promised for to myself, actually I raised my first satellite on my hand. So, and also we built this satellite completely by our hand, and also we learned how to build satellite from the paper to the disposal. And this is what I learned from PNST as an engineer. Actually, the detailed things talking by the presenters, and also not only the engineering things, also you can find out yourself in another way. As I said before, as I asked it before, what is the infinite goal of the life, which can make you meaningful for your entire life. And this is the goal for others' good. This is what I understood. And it was very, very good opening for me. And for example, what I understood is, I would like to explain here, and the selfish goals make contradiction. If you have a goal only for yourself, every time it contradicts with the others' selfish goals. And if you have the goals for others, and you can find out the same persons with who has a goals for others, and you can have the collaboration with them, and then this is the kind of the synergy concept of the modern days. And also it was realized in my life. And actually now I am here in Mongolia. I had the big team and work for the second satellite of the Mongolian engineers, and it's now on the PDR level, and hopefully we can launch in the 2020 first, and but it depends on the pandemic situation. And yes, thank you very much. This is what I learned from the PNST.
Thank you so much, Erica, for sharing your story. It's really interesting to see how you set goals and all the achievements that you're doing back in your country. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So we have lost connection with our other speaker, Mohammed. So I will make sure to put his presentation on our website later. Just to make sure, I will put all the presentations and also the recordings on our website later this week. So if you have any colleagues or friends who missed out today, please make sure to send them the information. Okay, I think we will move on to the Q&A now. I see a lot of questions about the applications, but since we have three amazing speakers here, if you have any questions about the participating part, how it was, yeah, more questions to the speakers, that would be really interesting, because I think it's a very rare opportunity to have three of them here and ready to answer your questions. But okay, yes, let's get into the questions. So, sorry, my Microsoft Teams isn't working very well as well. Sorry about this. Okay, our first question is, with regard to the development and the use of materials for nanosatellites, can we establish a partnership in the Caribbean to use materials we have here? What protocols are in place to make things easy between airports, travel to Japan, and coronavirus biohazard issues? For this, I guess this is not directly regarding to PNST, so I'm sorry, I think I will skip this, or if you can rephrase this question to the person who wrote it, that would be great. Next question would be from Ujul, who says, can we submit scanned copy of handwritten next applications? Maybe Professor Cho or Maeda Sensei, can you answer this question about handwritten next applications? I believe you had to fill in the PDF with not exactly handwritten, but yeah, since you're on that side, do you have any advice or answer to this one?
Yes, technically speaking, you can. However, I think it's a part of quality of your application.
Okay, thank you. And I guess this person still has a question regarding my university provides us percentage instead of grades. Am I allowed to change highest achievable grades, or I have to convert my percentage to GPA?
Well, I think you just have to explain that systems in application.
Okay, thank you very much. Overseas internship. Are there specific universities which shall do the internship? For this internship, it will be held at Kyutech. It has been offered from year 2013. So every year from 2013, there is a difference in the numbers, but we have been providing opportunities for basically about 6 people. And are you able to comment on how much competition there is? So yeah, Professor Cho, about the competition.
Regularly, I think one time we had 1,300 registration on the website. Well, actually, but however, 120, 100, maybe something around 100 application full package came. Yes. So you can do a math. 100 divided by 6.
Yes, thank you. I understand that there is a lot of documents that you have to fill in. So after you register, you really have to read and make sure to really give us the full package.
Yes, but we usually read about 100 applications.
Okay, thank you very much.
So about 10% of the registration people submit a complete package. That's usually what we see.
Thank you, George. Okay, next. In an application, there is a question to write my present field of research. I am now working, but I'm not doing any research right now. Shall I explain my final year project of bachelor studies or leave it blank?
Do not leave anything blank in application package. So write what you did in a bachelor.
Perfect, thank you. Next question, can we work on a project during our research at Kyutech involving our country's emerging space agency?
Yes, I think we can talk about that one. I think basically that is.
Thank you, yes. There's a lot of collaboration between Kyutech and a lot of space agencies and a lot of institutions, universities. So I think, yeah, there may be ways for you to cooperate. Okay, next question. Are we able to involve our country's government in our work, or do we need to sign an NDA until we return to our countries?
Well, we usually do not have when we have the project like a BUDS project, I think in that case, some contract is involved because a partner country has to pay some portion of the project, like satellite hardware and launch. However, other than that one, of course, in that contract, we have some term of NTA, but other than that one, it's just education. So we usually do not have such a formal things.
Thank you, Professor Cho. Next question is, I majored in physics and minored in mathematics, but during my studies, I took satellite communications and other engineering modules. And I'm the head of mechanical instructor team for our CubeSat project here in Sierra Leone. Am I eligible to apply? Regarding the if you look at our website, there are some restrictions about the age, when you were born, and also some other parts as well. So please make sure to check our website. But also, yeah, back to Dr. Cho.
Oh, yes.
Hello?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. Yes, you can. Yes. You can apply, and you are eligible. Yes. So we want some strong background in engineering, but also the important things your understanding in physics and the mathematics and also logical thinking. That's what we think is very important in a project.
Hazuki, I have one comment here. So maybe people are getting confused by so many requirements. Actually, they're pretty straightforward, simple requirements. I want to emphasize the most important requirement is you have to be passionate about space. If you are not passionate about space, do not apply for this scholarship.
Yes, I think that's true. I think Mohammed is connected now.
Yeah, thank you. I see Mohammed back. I know we were still in the middle of Q&A, but we'll make sure to follow up. So Mohammed, if you're back and you're able to connect and share your screen again, we can start off where you left off.
Okay.
We're really sorry about all the technical problems we're having today. I'll make sure to edit and make the video a bit more clean when we put it on our website. I'm really sorry about this.
Is it okay now?
For me, it's still loading. Yeah, we can see the presentation and yeah,
okay.
It's working.
Shall I start from the beginning?
We lost you when you were introducing yourself, so maybe the second slide.
This one? This one, yes.
The next page. We lost you. Yeah, we lost you during here. I think you were mentioning about your 18 years of experience in the Egyptian space program, and then after that, I started losing you. So yeah, if you can start around here.
Okay.
That would...
Okay, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so I joined the Egyptian space program, and now it became Egyptian Space Agency, EGSA, since 2002. I was enrolled in many satellite projects with the foreign countries like Ukraine, like Germany, like China. Now I have some lecturing in universities and then supervise some graduation projects. And by the way, this is Dr. Professor Cho. He visited Egypt last year or before last year. So what is PNST? PNST Fellowship is a postgraduate program of Nano-Satellite Technologies. And it was launched in 2013 by Kyutech with the UN USA, United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. And this fellowship program targeting the students from developing countries or nations that don't have yet the spacefaring capabilities. Okay, I have motivation to join this fellowship. First, I was very busy by tasks in my job, so I need to devote some time, enough time to study PhD, to concentrate. And I don't have this opportunity because it's difficult to have enough time unless you skip out your tasks and go to the university to do such So second issue, my colleague in North before, he joined the program in 2011, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, and he encouraged me much about the environment, about the teaching, about the capabilities in Kyutech. So he told me, you have to come, you will find something different. That's why I was enthusiastic to deal with these advanced facilities, which is not available in Egypt, and to discover the secrets of Japan. Everybody knows Japan maybe by the media, but if you touch, if you see by yourself, something different. So that's why I decided to leave the comfort zone. So I have goals when I take these 9,000 kilometers from Egypt to Japan. I was thinking about having a PhD in space engineering to get the knowledge of nano-satellite technology, and then to see the model, and then to imitate back when I return back to my country. The road to the PhD started in Laboratory of Spacecraft Environment Interaction Engineering, LASEN. The laboratory was supervised and managed by Professor Beng Cho, many faculty members, many secretaries. I owe them all by support, by help, by everything. And of course, many students from Japan and elsewhere. The road was started by studying space engineering international courses, including space systems engineering, introduction to satellite engineering, satellite power system, space environment testing, power semiconductors, and the project-based learning, and of course, Japanese language. So we have 6 courses: R&D, development, research you have to do, projects you have to enroll in, and then finally you have the big issue to join a real project, which is HORU 4 in my case. The R&D disciplines was to optimize the EPS development. This is my rule. I have to design and carrying out many experiments. I went to Kyoto University, Kyushu University, Takasaki reactors in very specialized and high-tech labs to check the effect of space environment, specifically on electronic components, and to check the single event catch-up, to check the total ionization dose testing. And I was amazing. It was amazing, and I was amazed by seeing such facilities. And really, I appreciate Professor Cho to give me the opportunity to learn such new techniques in testing. I joined in project-based learning cycles, and we got awarded IAA award in Mission Idea Contest 2014. And of course, I published some papers. And here, the lesson I can say to everybody interested in studying in Japan, it's not that easy if you are a foreigner to come inside such great and high-tech labs or testing facilities. But in Japan, you have to learn, and it's very easy to get what you are targeting. HORU 4 project, very, very interesting mission. And it was maybe, I guess, the first mission in space to generate arc and to capture this arc on the solar panels in the high voltage reaches 300 volts. I was among members of 18 countries with the faculty members, and really it was very interesting project for me, and I appreciate very much joining this project. I will give you like snapshot about my research. It was to develop lean EPS, electrical power system, for lean satellite. I have to meet the requirement and to propose testing methods and to investigate all expected faults. Why we apply lean concept? This is arise by Professor Cho to give customers and stakeholders a kind of value to invest more in satellite development and to define a new standards combining the satellite for lean concept. As we can see at that time, the number of CubeSats launched at 2015 increasing very much. So we have to encourage more people to come to this industry. So the lean means it's like a philosophy in development and management to make the satellite perfectly optimized and developed to have finally low cost, fast delivery, and some risk acceptance. These concepts come with requirement finally to have the development of a subsystem or a satellite. So what did PNST fellowship added to me? First, to have the PhD degree in 3 years in very advanced technologies, to practice the satellite development life cycle, starting from the idea and then coming into the complete design and then final design and then testing and finally launching and then operation. This life cycle, it's not that easy to come in a very short time. And you can see every people are working to have this target. Maybe it takes longer, but if you are focusing, like studying beside you are doing your tasks in the project, it will be easier. Third, to enhance my scientific thinking, I went to Japan and I had my master's degree. But anyway, the knowledge will never stop. So I got new ideas, new perspectives, new hands-on experience. In Japan, you are going to have regular meetings, you have regular scientific conferences, and so on. So your ideas, your perspectives, of course, will change. And some important issue, how to adapt in multicultural system. We were different countries, different people from different countries, from different languages. You have to adapt with all that issues. Lastly, you have to establish a solid and versatile connections with many people. I know some people from maybe from generation after me. Even I didn't meet them during my stay in Japan, but we have the alumni and it make solid connections together. And last thing, to strengthen the commitment towards your country. I went to Japan because I have idea and goal, and then I have to convey this message to my country. Because I owe to my country, so I have to give this knowledge to my people. So I went back in 2016 from Japan to Egypt. My idea is that time to teach junior engineers. And finally, one of them, really, I was amazed to let her the opportunity to get master degree under PNST with Professor Cho last year. My idea is to start many CubeSat projects, especially for undergrad, to have the capacity building in my institute. After PhD, I promoted to a researcher and then head of electrical systems department in EGSA. I am involved in many projects, satellite projects, systems projects. I'm working as a lecturer of power electronics in one of the Egyptian universities, and I supervise many graduation projects. So finally, this is the essence of this today's webinar. What is the lessons learned from study in Japan? Okay, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. This is maybe our belief in LACEN. Laboratory is our home. It's not like a class. No, you have to stay long time to do whatever you want and whatever your professor asked you to do. Safety is first priority. When you are studying in Japan, you have to be careful very much. Be accurate and neat. Don't be messy and don't be lazy. Don't be inaccurate person. Publish or perish, and together everyone achieves more. I witnessed this by myself, especially in the hard times of HORU 4 before launching, and it is perfect if you can speak Japanese and read or write Japanese. After I got back to my country, we did a design of 2 CubeSats, and because I like Kyutech, we decided to make the test campaign or environmental test campaign in the best place of nano-satellite testing facility in Japan, maybe in my belief, in Kyutech. So we did testing, environmental testing, vibration, thermal vacuum, and launching from JAXA and USA. My life in Japan, in some photos. Really, I was very admired, and it was very amazing to see different people from different countries, to live with them and to deal with them, to learn, to see the nature. And I got my baby over there and met very kind people, of course, delicious food. So I encourage everyone to have this, to be inspired to go to Japan and study the postgraduates. And thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for the inspiring presentation. It's really nice to see how much you enjoyed the program and also how it's really connecting to your work now back in Egypt. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we go back into the Q&A, please make sure before you leave the webinar to answer our questionnaire form. That would be really helpful for us. And also, please make sure I see someone raising their hand using the raise hand thing, but please, if you have any questions, please write it down in the chat. Okay, let's go back to the Q&A. I think we stopped at this one. So can one pursue postdoc after finishing the doctoral PNST program? So Professor Cho, I think this is for you. And Professor Cho, you're muted right now.
I usually tell the students to go back to the country after you graduate, because the country is not waiting. Country is waiting for you to come back. So.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Is the project limited to individual work, or are we able to collaborate with others to produce more substantial research?
Or if you are talking about the satellite project, well, that kind of thing, yes, you have to work with others. But if you are talking about your thesis work, it's usually it can be done as a group, or it can be done as the individual research. It's up to the professors, supervisors, and you. But for the satellite, yes, definitely it must be group work.
Thank you, Professor Cho. The next question is, what level of knowledge on aerospace engineering is assumed for this course? Can a student from another background study this course if they have sufficient mathematical background?
Yes. you do not have to graduate it from the aerospace department. Yes. As Maya-san said before, you have to be passionate about space. Yes. And also, you must have a physics, mathematics background and logical thinking.
Thank you. The next question is, do we have to pay tuition fees? So that I've answered in my initial presentation, but the tuition fees will be paid by Kyutech. The next question is...
Wait. I want to point out something here.
Okay, yeah.
Only 6 people get PNST. So that means a lot of people do not. They should not despair because there are other ways to study in SCIC. For example, if you can fund yourself to come here, then that's perfectly a good option, and we encourage you to think about it. The tuition in Japan is very small. It's only about $6,000 per year. So it's much smaller than the total living costs. So we're talking about PNST, which covers all your expenses, but you still can study the same program using SCIC. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you, George. For PNST, it is a special fellowship program that the UN and Kyutech offers, but as George mentioned, Kyutech has their Space Engineering International course as a program that they do. So if you're interested in that, you can also find information about on that on their website as well. Okay, going to the next question. Is TOEFL IBT enough to certificate English?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Are specialties selected from the beginning? How are missions defined? Does everyone get to participate in the CubeSat design, assembly, and testing? Yeah, these are questions from the same person.
Could you repeat the question again?
Are specialties selected from the beginning? So maybe this person is asking about when you define your project plans in July or after you're chosen, but yeah, if you can elaborate on this person who asked the question, that would be helpful to get a better answer from Professor Cho. Maybe you can answer the other ones first. How are missions defined? And also, does everyone get to participate in the CubeSat design, assembly, and or testing?
Okay, typically in a BUZZ project, for the first 3 months, students do not touch the hardware. So they do all the discussions about what missions will serve the people's need in their countries. And after that one, of course, they'll talk to the stakeholders who are paying for the satellites, and then we'll decide the missions. And students, after that one, a student assigned to individual the subsystems, but they'll see all the systems also.
But hold on, Professor Cho, the question is, do all students get to work on a satellite project as part of it?
I think it really depends on how many satellite project is running, while students are there.
Thank you, Professor Cho. Moving on to the next question. I did my bachelor's degree and master's degree in English. Am I still required to provide English test certificates like IELTS?
No. If you have the certificate that your education language was done in English, I think it's okay. But you have to submit some kind of certificate from the school official.
Okay, perfect. Next, hello from Mauritius. Is it possible if you're a senior undergraduate in aerospace engineering to apply?
Well, if you are certain that you graduate before September, yes, you can. But you need to submit a letter from the schools that you are expected to finish your bachelor degree by that time.
Thank you. Next, I have studied electronics and communications for bachelor's, but I saw electrical and electronics as programs to select on the field I have studied. Shall I select electrical and electronics program or something else?
Well, many students, we now have a department of space systems engineering. So it's very natural that many students take that space systems engineering as the courses, main courses. However, this SEIC is open to any disciplines. So actually some students belongs to civil engineering and some belongs to the mechanical engineering. So if the person is really keen to do very deep research in electrical E&E, yes, a person can choose E&E as their main subject. But still, you learn those satellite and space engineering in this SEIC.
Thank you. The next question is, can we have a distinct definition on what is meant by a spacefaring country? So for that, we would define spacefaring country as countries without an established substantial capability to develop space technology and launch space objects. So I understand it's a bit vague, but please do not hesitate and try to send in the applications. I mean, there are 6 opportunities, and of course, this is one of the most important parts to apply, but then there are other informations as well. So even if you're not sure if your country is a spacefaring country or a developing country or anything like that, please try to, yes, apply. Next question is, I guess this one is to Mohammed. As lean is being mentioned, is this being recognized as a global standard for standardization in nano development? I believe, yeah, Mohammed was talking about lean the most. Would you like to answer this question, Mohammed?
Yes, please. Okay. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
As lean is being mentioned, is this being recognized as a global standard for standardization in nano development?
Yes, yes. This is standard 2 years ago. Was issued by, I think, ISO standard. I don't remember the number. It targets the lean satellite technology, and it depends on not only the size of the satellite, but the philosophy and the procedures. You will build the satellite according to this concept. Is it okay? I guess Professor Cho may add something.
Well, I think the lean satellite is the satellite which tried to make a different way from the traditional very big satellite, low cost, fast delivery. So it's the many CubeSats. It can be categorized as a lean satellites, yes, unless you make a very expensive CubeSat, yes. And so we call those satellite lean satellite. And we have the community, which is closely tied with the standard activities. Yes. So there are many ways of calling a small satellite, but we think just calling small satellite, the size is not the real issue. The issue is how we call its philosophy. That's how we call the lean.
Thank you. I guess the next question has already been answered, so I will skip that, which is there an opportunity to work on a real satellite? So I will skip. Next is, can you give me advice or guidelines on how to describe a research topic or a study program?
Well, I think you write what you want to study, and you write what you did. I think it's a part of the evaluation criteria. How good you can write your research and your plan. Yes.
I have one comment in your application. This is a scholarship for space engineering. So you need to mention space in your application. If you don't say anything about space, your evaluation will not be very good.
Thank you, both of you. Maybe
may I add something?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, from the speakers. Yes.
Please, if anybody is intending to go for PNST, go to LACEN website and see the activities and see the lab facilities and see the papers released in the research. Maybe you can find an idea.
Well, not only that one. I think we have many other Kyutech the faculty who can be supervisor. So just write what you want to do, and but it must be related to the space.
Thank you. May I ask the same question to Pooja and Keenan and Erica as well on your advice on how to write a successful research topic or study program? Because I know you are the winners and you've gone through this process. So do you have any advice on how you did your applications?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Erica.
Actually, basically, you should rely it on your background, because satellite has many subsystems, and you can rely on subsystem. For example, in my case, I was work on the renewable energy sector on the time, and I choose topic to the electric power system, something like that. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Thank you, Erica. Maybe Keenan, do you have any advice?
For me, when I was determining my research topic, I guess I looked more into what my background was, so electrical and computer engineering, but it was also based on the project that I worked on for my internship at NASA. So it was more, I had previous experience in that field, so I worked on that. But I would say for advice, I guess whatever you're most interested currently, you never know that it's possible to implement it onto a satellite. Like the whole point of nanosatellites is experimenting and testing with new concepts. So you never know, like the research topic that you have in mind may be viable for a satellite application. That's my advice.
Thank you, Keenan. And Pooja, could we have your advice as well?
Okay, as Erica mentioned, there are so many different subsystems of satellite that you can work into. So firstly, you can decide on based on that, like if you study what are the subsystems and what each of them do, and if that embarks an interest in you, that could be one research topic. Or otherwise, there are very different applications of what satellite can do. So you can also work on what the satellites, how can a satellite help you or your country to improve lives of people. So that kind of application study is also a very good topic to look on. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, since we're engaging the speakers, maybe if you have any advice or stories about the living costs, or how do you feel about the support you're getting from the government and from the school? If you can give advice to people, to future applicants about that, if it's enough, or maybe you need to prepare a bit more to enjoy your life in Japan. I don't know if you have any comments or advice on that to the 4 speakers.
From my experience, I realized, like, for other students that are currently here but are not on the MEC scholarship, I would say that the MEC scholarship provides enough funds for you to live comfortably. Like, you can, depending on the cost of the apartment, living costs are a bit high in Japan, but I think the scholarship provides enough for you to survive well, because there are other students who are not on scholarship and they have to take part-time jobs, and it makes it very difficult to also study at the same time and do these jobs. So on this scholarship, I think you'll be very lucky. So I think, yeah, it's very good scholarship funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Keenan. Anybody else who could add to that?
No, I agree with Kenan. It's, if you have a scholarship, it is sufficient for you to live well in Japan. Even it is little bit high expenses rather than our countries.
Thank you, Mohammed. Erica, Pooja, I guess Keenan and Mohammed answered the question, but yeah, if there's anything you'd like to add.
Yes, I agree with both of them. It's enough to live a very comfortable life in Japan.
Thank you. Okay.
For me, same. And also, and you have to work hard, but also you have to have fun, and that scholarship also enough for that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of documents and things you have to go through to get the PNST scholarship, but when you do, I believe it's a really wonderful opportunity that helps you get through this program. Okay, sorry, going back to the question. Are there plans of increasing the number of slots for PNST program in the future?
Oh, very, very good questions. The answers, we have just renewed these programs with the Japanese government next, and we are granted for three years starting from this application. So 2021, 2022, 2023. So during that 3 years, a number is fixed, 6. And beyond that one, I don't know. I think if we have so many applications, and if the Japanese government policies pushes more internationalizations in the universities, and also if Kyutech allocate more educational resources to these courses, we may expand. But I cannot, right now, the answer is I don't know. Definitely, I don't think we will decrease the number. So either stay or increase. Yes.
Thank you, Professor Cho. And out of curiosity, how many people are admitted into the Space Engineering International course every year?
Well, I think we are mandated by Japanese government to have the same number of foreign students as PNST, more than same. And this October, we had 14 in total. Yes, we had 14 non-PNST students from abroad and 10 to 15 Japanese students. So maybe about 30. Yes. Yeah.
Hazuki-san, in my presentation, there's a big table showing where everybody comes from. So the answer is there. I recommend people go to that table. And currently, as of October 1st, 2020, we have 60 SCIC students enrolled at Kyutech.
Okay, thank you for the information. And to Professor Cho, since we had so many questions on English, do you think you can summarize about the English, the TOEFL, the IELTS? Is there one generic answer to this question? Or I guess it's because of it's a MEXT scholarship, it really depends on what MEXT decides, but do you think you can give a generic answer to?
Well, I think that's written, exact requirement is written in a website. I think please refer to that one. So if you had your formal education in English, you submit that certificate issued by the school. And if you are not from the non-English speaking countries or the graduated educations offered in your local language or in non-English, you have to take TOEFL or TOEIC or any kind of the English exams. And above all, the course is issued in English. So also all the communications during the satellite development, all communications are done in English, including Japanese students. So English proficiency, you have to be fluent in, not fluent, but you have to be able to communicate in English. That's really the requirement. So you have to be certain about your the ability, and we'll check that once during the interview. Yes. Manasan, do you have any?
Yes, I have some advice. I think many people there really want to come to Kyutech to study space engineering, but your English ability is not so good right now. So I would do intensive training until next year. Spend the next 10 months studying English really hard, and then you can apply again next year. So don't despair if your English is very bad right now. This program has been renewed for the next 3 years, so you have opportunities in future to try for this scholarship.
Thank you so much. So I guess we're done with the questions. So I will ask, I guess, Professor Cho and Maeda Sensei to give your final summarize any messages you have to future applicants. And also I will ask the 4 speakers also to give their final advice to future applicants as well. So maybe we can start with Professor Cho.
Yes, PNST has been running for the past 8 years. And before the PNST, we had the programs called the DNST, Doctorate on Nano-Satellite Technologies. That was funded entirely by Kyutech, and we accepted 2 doctoral students. So including that one, we already went through the 10 years of the 1 decade of these postgraduate programs. It helped a lot, the Kyutech educations. So quite diverse, and we are very proud doing this ones. And so one thing I want students is that think about how you can contribute to the space sectors in worldwide, also to your country's space sectors after getting these programs. And we try to, I think our purpose is to diversify the space sector, worldwide space sectors. And I really want you to work hard, sustainable space programs in your country after you graduate. And we really hope to help that effort. And so I really hope that yes, you can be successful in your applications and come to Kyutech and study and go back and go through your successful careers in the space sector. I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Professor Cho. George?
Yes, I have a few words. First of all, I want to thank our 4 PNST fellows today. I was really impressed. Excellent presentations by each one of them. They put a lot of thought into their presentation, and I hope if you miss part of it, you will download their PDF and look it all over. I'm really happy with what they did today. The other thing I want to emphasize is the purpose of PNST. The United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs has a website for this PNST. Just don't look at the words, read the words, understand the purpose of PNST. It is to come here to learn space engineering and take that knowledge back to your country. I think Yahya hammered that point in very well. So it's not just to help yourself. Because we're working with the United Nations, it's necessary for you to help your own country as well. Okay? If you plan to come here and then use this as a springboard to go somewhere else, you're not invited here. We really expect you to go back and help the space sector in your own country. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Next, Pooja, if you can give your final advice, words.
Okay, first advice is PNST application procedure is very long. I agree. I also took a lot of time to fill that up, But just because it's long, don't give up, because there are a lot of people who will give up because it's long. So you'll have a better chance of getting it if you go until the end. And if you really look at the questions, I think it's easy. It just takes a little bit of thought and time to apply. So I hope you stay through it. And the other advice is for all women to apply. Our lab is a very women inclusive lab. We do not experience any kind of gender discrimination, and it's purely our skills that we are looked at. So I suggest more women to apply so we can have more women friends here. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Yes, our office also really emphasizes on more participation from women, so that would be a great aspect. Next, Keenan, your final words.
Just for final words, I guess, from my last slide was advice for applicants. I would say look at this experience, look forward to like a PNST experience as not just for furthering your professional life, but also meeting and interacting with many international students and learning different cultures. Like that's very important as well. So like you're coming to a space engineering program, but an international space engineering program. So you'll be meeting people from countries you never even knew about or heard about, and you'll be interacting with them and learning many different things, and it'll help you grow as a person as well. So it'll be fun to learn from these people and about everything about them. So yeah, I guess my advice is it'll be much more fun than you think it would be. So apply.
Thank you, Keenan. Yes, definitely the network is a very really important part that you will gain through this opportunity. Thank you. Okay, Erica.
My advice is like just finish your application because this is very rare opportunity. So believe me, it changed your life. So my life is completely changed here in Mongolia, and it's because of PNST. So also I hope I wish you should use this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erica. And last but not least, Mohammed Yahir.
Okay, thank you very much for this tonight session. And first, I advise everyone to write a good research proposal, because this is your image, and the reviewers focus very much when selecting people to see what people can do and what is their vision. So try to invest your time in writing a good proposal, scientific one, in a very scientific way. Second, my advice to everyone is going to apply, please focus on the impact you are going to do when you get back or go back to your country. And don't focus on yourself. Try to have new idea. Maybe one day you will have a spin-off company in your country. You need to push your government to do something related to space. And thank you very much.
Okay, I think this is a wrap. Thank you all for participating, and thank you for the speakers for providing such inspirational stories. To all of you that participated, please make sure to answer our questionnaire form before you leave. It would be very helpful for us. And also, as all the participants have been saying, it is a very lengthy process. However, we only have 1 month until the deadline. So I repeat, the deadline will be on January 24th next year. So you roughly have only 1 month to prepare. But as everyone said, if you read the documents, it should not be that difficult. I understand that 1 month may be hard, but it would be great if you can try. And we look forward to receiving a lot of applications. And also, please make sure to check our website. All the information is written down in the website. You can find helpful documents that will help you. And there is also a Q&A section that has frequently asked questions answered. So if you have anything, just make sure to read the website. And then if you don't understand anything or any parts of it, please feel free to contact us at our website and our email address. So yes, thank you so much for all.
Well, one more comment. They have to get 3 recommendation letters. Okay, 3.
Yep.
And this is beyond your control. You ask them to write it, but they take time, right? So you might want to start this quickly.
Yes, definitely. So I recommend all of you to go immediately to our website to see the necessary documents, because honestly, yes, there is a lot, and there is a lot you have to go through. So yeah, please make sure to start your applications now. So yes, thank you so much for engaging in the questions and answers. I think it was very productive for all of us. And yeah, we really look forward to receiving more applications. So thank you so much. And to the speakers, if you can stay a bit, Professor Cho, Maeda Sensei, and all the speakers, if you can turn on your cameras, we'll take a little photo that we'll use to promote.
All right.
Keenan. Is he still here, Keenan? If not, we will Photoshop him in. Is Keenan gone? Let me check. Okay, I guess Keenan is gone already. So, okay, everybody smile at the camera. My colleague Jorge is taking a picture. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your participation. It was really a pleasure to do this webinar with you, and I hope, to all the speakers and everyone still here, that it was all productive for you as well. And check our website. I'll try to do my job as fast as I can to put the presentations and the recordings on the website. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice day. Take care.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye.